Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the movement for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
I
Hey guys, welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, and we're rocking airdrop. Edward Leonard was the one that got it. Congratulations. Anyway, what's going on? Just another boring Monday, right? Right? Nothing going on today. Nothing at all. Hey, real quick, before we get into anything, if you want one of these cool airdrop shirts, designed by our good friend, Mr. Corey, Links53 out there on, Instagram and Twitch and all that. Hey, hit up www.shotofmega.com. Hit the store button up at the top. Find shirts and hats and all sorts of other cool stuff on there. Go get you some of that. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we are working with here tonight, hit the Amazon link just below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it goes to help out the stream. And then if you need kits or paints or accessories or the best damn decals in the world, Mecha Decals, hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store, Scott, and those fine folks down there will definitely hook you up with what you need. All right, so let's get into the news, right? So today was interesting. Yeah, today was interesting. If you have not heard, if you've been under a rock, yes, I am going to Dubai. I am going to be the guest judge for the Otaku ME Modelers Cup 2020 in January. I'm blown away, you guys. It really hasn't even sunk in, kinda, you know? They announced it, it doesn't really seem that real. I don't think it's going to sink in until I'm actually on the plane, to be honest, but, yeah, it's going to be pretty damn cool. It's going to be pretty damn cool. So, I know that, when we were talking about it last week, Handren, Hasaki Art, over there on Facebook, he actually guessed it in the chat, and I glazed right over it. I didn't even say anything. So he actually was the first one that kind of guessed it and kind of got it right and everything. So, yeah, shout out to Handren. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, so I will be judging the Gunpla portion of the Modelers Otaku ME Modelers Cup in January, and that's going to be awesome. And then I get to put on simple details for those folks, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So, man, this all kind of came to fruition kind of quickly, right? So, it's the week before SabatonCon, so roughly 2.5 weeks ago, right? And I'm finishing up what I was doing that night. I think it was an off night, and so I'm finishing up here. And, you know, posted a picture and everything, and then I'm looking at my phone, I'm getting ready to go to bed, I see this email, and I'm like, Otaku ME, okay, I know that, I've been a fan of them for a while, and, you know, they have a great community out there, the stores are gorgeous. If you've not seen them, I highly recommend going to one of their social media accounts and checking it out, either on Facebook or Instagram. Just absolutely beautiful stores. And so I get this email, and I'm like, okay, what's this, right? And I'm reading through it, and it didn't click right away, right? And I'm like, this is just fucking spam, whatever. So I'm like, wait a minute. I read it again, and I'm like, really? Like, hold on, just a second. One more time. I read it a third time, and then it's just like, then it finally kicks, right? And it's just like, because it's like 3 a.m. I'm tired. It's not processing very well at that particular moment, right? So, man, yeah. It kind of shocked me, big time. Kind of shocked me. So, yeah, I quickly, I replied back. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to come out, right? Mr. Case out there, Case Sadecki, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Case. Oh man, Case, if you're watching, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, dude. But Case, he's the owner. He seems like an amazing dude. Real cool, real chill. Looks like he just, he's in this to kind of be one of the gang, kind of have fun, the whole 9 yards, right? So he was the one that emailed me, and yeah, I think it's gonna be so much fun, man. James, Quinsat, James. Damn it! If I'm butchering your name, then I apologize as well. But James, if you guys don't know James, TK Mechworks, he came in second in the world last year at GBWC. He was the one with the big kind of what is it? The maintenance robot. Yeah, second in the world. He works at Otaku ME, so I get to hang out with him in January. How cool is that, right? But of course, I'm going to be bringing something. I don't know what yet, because it's based on other things. You know what I'm saying? But I'll bring something. I'll bring something to kind of show off and display and everything. So that the competition, I believe, is Friday. And then Saturday is the tutorials and kind of announcements and stuff like that, right? So it's going to be a full weekend. It's going to be crazy fun. Yeah. There's Lynn. Woke me up at 4 a.m. to tell me the good news. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Yeah, 4 a.m. Hey, look at this. What are you going to do, right? I was excited. I couldn't help myself. Had to tell somebody, right? Julio says international modeler of mystery, right? No, I would rather much prefer Freddie Tiffany, Mr. Internationally Known. If y'all haven't seen Double Take with Orlando Jones and Eddie Griffin, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing movie. 2001. It's got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe. But it's so good, you guys. Yeah. Freddie Tiffany, Internationally Known. Yes. Dubai. Holy shit, you guys. Dubai. I mean, what do you say to that? I don't know. But one thing that I did think about, especially after the announcement today, is like I was kind of reflecting on things, right? And, we kind of had talked about this on the after show of Mechanism last Friday, right? All of the folks on Mechanism, we just kind of shoot the shit afterwards when we talk and we hang out and just have fun and everything. It's kind of the after party, if you will, right? And our boy Mikkel had said something to me, and he's like, man, you blew up this year. I'm like, really? I don't know. I'm like, I don't feel like it. And he's like, yeah, dude, you blew up. Like, you're going here, you're going there, and blah, blah, blah. And they knew about it, because they're good friends and everything, and privileged information and all. But, I was thinking about it, and I was just like, man, this past year has been pretty damn crazy, right? Been pretty crazy. And, I kind of reflected on it. Yeah, we've come a long way. But, not just me, but us. And I mean that. Us. We've come a long way, right? You look at this past year. Just this past year alone, right? Look at the people that have watched the show and that have done bigger and better things, right? That's something to be proud of, right? I'm proud of it, You look at somebody like right there, Julio clipping nubs. Look at him, man. Look how far he's come in a year. That wing is amazing that he built, right? You look at somebody like Chris R. He had never done any sort of modification, scratch building, nothing. Now he's in a freaking build-off with Luis, Mr. Ultraman Dyna, right? Both of them. Never done anything like that before. you know what? I couldn't be more proud, right? So it's not me, man. It's us. We've come a long way in a year. We got a lot more to go. A lot more to go. Buckle up, kids. Let's go for a ride. What do you say? Come along. Just don't take candy from strangers. That's bad. All right. So that out of the way. Let's talk about. Let's get an update on Simon. Right. Simon is doing as well as can be expected. He's been chatting a little bit with us in the Gunpla Talk chat and everything like that. Just here and there, nothing crazy. We might hear from him once every couple days or something like that, which is really, really amazing and very encouraging. He sent us some selfies. It's Simon, man. He's doing good, man. He's doing really good. As like I said, as well as can be expected, right? So today, we got an update from him, and evidently he chowed down on a BLT, and he was very happy about that. He has graduated from eating yogurt and stuff, so he's doing better. But the thing to keep in mind is he's still got a long way to go. He's still got a long way to go. It's very encouraging right now, but he's nowhere near out of the woods, you guys. Nowhere near out of the woods. Spider2K2, James 2.0, he gave us a little bit of an update there. What is he up? He's up to 5,700 right now on that GoFundMe, you guys. And I have seen a lot of good people donate on that. And man, I'm going to tell you what, I recognize the gross majority of the names I recognize, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more proud too. I have not been able to donate yet. Waiting for the paycheck. Probably like a lot of people. But as soon as I do, yeah, it's definitely going in. And besides that, the stuff that other people have started, Zashan with the giveaways and stuff like that on Instagram, and the other people that have kind of pitched in to help, is just beyond amazing. Last night I jumped on Ray's Power Ranger and SoCal Brina's live stream on Instagram, and they were basically doing a live stream. Everybody that jumped in, they would donate $1, right? From what they've already donated. So there were 50 viewers in that hour, so they donated $50, and that's super cool. That's the stuff that people are doing, man, and that is, it's so heartwarming. I don't even know how to properly say thank you, right? Because obviously we're doing this on behalf of Simon, right? I know he sees these things. He knows about the GoFundMe. He's blasted it out there, the whole 9 yards. He is extremely thankful in his own Simon British way, right? Yeah, still keep him in your thoughts. Please, please, please still keep him in your thoughts, right? Because, like I said, he's not out of the woods yet. We need to keep the thing going. If you know someone who has not donated, if they can, please let them know. If they can't, if you're not in the financial state that you can donate that, and trust me, I completely understand if you're in that kind of place right now. Record a little video, post it to his Facebook page, right? Just something to brighten his day, something to brighten his spirits up, because not only is the monetary thing really good, and that goes to help out financially, and that goes to help out practically, right? He really needs that emotional support right now from us, you guys. If not more so, because he's in the fight of his life right now. He really is. This right now is probably his toughest challenge that he will ever face. And for him to see visually and hear somebody that he may not even know just say, hey, Simon, you know what? I just wanted to drop you a line. I don't know you, but man, I'm thinking about you. I hope you get better soon. I mean, think about how much confidence and how much drive and motivation and dedication that's going to give him. I just, yeah. If I was him, at that point, after seeing all that, I'd want to take on the world. So, if you can do that, guys, do it. Mecha Army. This one's for you. All you. You know how we do. All right. So that's the update with Simon. He's doing pleasingly well. Let's put it that way, right? So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. All right. Let's see. Last time we were together was what? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday of last week. And we were doing some scribe and some other crazy stuff. So I got some stuff to show you guys. So let's go camera 2, shall we? Boom. There we go. All right. So, as you can see, a little bit of a mess. Let's get some caps on some chisels here. Chisel discipline. You all know the deal, right? All right. So, last time we were together, we were working with, we were working with this guy, right? Scribing, the panels and stuff like that in there. Now, technically, we weren't working with this one. We were working with the other side, right? We were working with, boom, that side. That's the finished product, you guys. That's, this right here. That's what we're doing, right? That's what we're doing. Now, let's take a few things off the leg here, and let's take a look at what we got, yeah? Because there's some other things that I got to show you, too. Jesus, this doesn't want to come apart. What's up with that? There's that. Okay, yeah. Now we can get this guy off of here. There we go. There's that. There's that. Boom, done. All right, so, real quick. We're all the way zoomed in. Yep, let's go super zoom so you guys can see what is what here, yeah? Let's get boom there. And boom there. Here we go. All right, rocking. Yeah. Okay, so what we got here is a little Codable Key event, right? And it is flanked by a couple pieces of styrene strip cut at an angle. As you can see there in the profile, it's a little bit lower, yeah. But created a frame, and the frame around it, as you can see, is nicely beveled. Looking good right there, yeah. You can see. That's pretty nice and clean. And that's going to be the look that we're going for, you guys. I really, really like it. Really like it. Now, that's not the only thing that kind of we did this weekend, right? We did this little perimeter scribe right down here with the little notches, all that. Ba-boom. So that's going to look good. You're going to have this like little pop of color right here at the separating these two pieces, right? And yeah, I think that's going to look really, 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 really nice. Now, the other thing that we did was we took the front shin armor, or whatever we want to call it, and did the kind of same thing with that right here, yeah? Just did a little separation scribe, got a little notch right there, brought it up right into the front panel there, and then did the same thing down the other side, right? So that's all looking good. It's all kind of coming together cohesively, yeah? Let's see, what else did we do this week? And oh yeah, that's right. We did this guy, the new knee armor, yeah? So let me run you through this here real quick, guys. So first thing I did was to square down the roundy, bulbous knee armor, right? If you don't know the Zaku 2's knee armor, this is what it looks like right here. Very round, very kind of just blah, if you will. So what we did was scratch built this little horn right there, right? And yes, I know Bill, Mr. Rushlam, on Instagram. Is Bill with us tonight? Bill, if you're with us, sound off. But what we did was we scratch built this horn out of some, different size pieces of plastic. We got on the sides here, we got 1.5 millimeters, so one laminated with a 0.5 mil on both sides, and then we got a 1 millimeter sheet kind of separating those two as in that little channel there, right? And then on the back here, we just kind of got this little block here just for aesthetic appeal. I don't know what it's for. I just think it looks cool. And then underneath, we just popped that right on a 1 millimeter by 4 millimeter strip, and then just kind of strapped that over that hard edge. Yeah. And then on top of that, we've got a couple stacked pieces of 1 by 1. Just that little strip there. It just gives it a nice little visual notch thingy there, right? I think that looks killer. And then outline scribed the whole thing, added a 4 notches around that just to tie that puppy together. And voila, we have a new knee armor. I think it looks good. Yes. So, let's real quick strap this whole thing together and see what it looks like, shall we? Because I think it looks really, really good. And I know Bill, last call for Bill. Nope. Bill wanted to see it all together. So if Bill re-watches this, he'll be able to see it all together here momentarily. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we finish putting this all together, there's one more thing. One more thing that I need to show you that we did over the weekend. Because it's pretty cool. And it was fairly easy to do and accomplish, right? Let's get the foot on this guy here too, just for full effect, because Bill wanted to see that. And there's that. Ooh, get back in there. And we get the knee armor back in there. We need to get out of super zoom here right quick. Let's do that. Let's see. Back to 1. Maybe. Back to 1. There we go. And then out of the box. And get everything pulled back up here right quick. And there we are. All right. So, there is the full package, right, of the leg with the knee armor and then the foot armor there, yeah? So it looks really, really cohesive. That's a nice looking leg, if I do say so myself. Now, mind you, that doesn't have the high mobility armor on it yet. And there's a good reason for that, because I wanted to show you the side thing here. This guy. And you can kind of see perfectly there in the highlights and all of what we did. So, a little scribing action there, right? Now, some of you may be asking, how did you get it so perfectly symmetrical? It looks like a mirror image of each other. How'd you do it? Come on, man. Do you really have to ask? Boom. Just like that. Yeah? And then, because it's a T, we flip it over. Look at that. Boom. Just like that. And then, to get these little guys right here, use the underside. What? It's not magic? Come on. I don't play around with magic. Look at that. Boom. Yes. Scribing jig. Easy peasy. And then, just to top that look off, I tried to pull a full Ravi Pla on you. And scraped out this little bit here. Let's see if we can get it in the shadow or not. maybe, oh, right there, you can see the outline of it, right? So just scraped this little bit down here, probably about a 1/2 millimeter of material out from there. And what we're gonna do, let's pop these high mobility pieces on so you can kind of get the full effect, yeah? Get on there. All right, so there's that side. Ooh, that looks pretty damn good, you guys. I don't know about y'all, but that looks pretty solid. Tasty. Yeah. So yeah, we got that vent there. Look at that. We got the toe. We got the vent, the notches, the scribing, all of that good stuff. We've got the kick-ass knee. Oh, and I completely forgot about these notches here that I scribed in. Completely forgot about that. So, if you guys don't know about the Zaku 2 leg, it's got, and this is hey, James 2.0, Spider 2K2. You know what this is from. So they have these little weird molded in notches, right? Pfft, I don't like those. I like these. On both sides too, right? On both sides. Super clean, super smooth. 1.5 millimeter, just scraping down for 5-10 minutes a piece. And yeah, on both sides, they're looking kind of right. They're looking kind of right. Yeah. So that's the full-on look for the leg. That's pretty. That is pretty right there. I don't know about you guys, but that is just, yeah, looking really quite nice. I like it. I like it. All right, so we're going to be working. Let's get to work, shall we? So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to replicate these right here, right? We're going to do that. But before we do that, we're going to do something a little bit simpler. Right? We are going to rescribe these things here, and I'm going to show you how to use the jig. Because it's so freaking simple. So simple, right? Let's take a look at the scribing jig here, you guys. So all this is a piece of 1 millimeter styrene, right? Cut to the profile of the line that I want it to be. That's it. Really simple, yeah? And then a 3 millimeter, just a 3 millimeter catch plate on the end here, in the shape of a T, so you can flip it around like that. Easy, easy, right? Easy, easy. Oh, Edward Leonard, sorry, dude. You missed my question. Sugar babies. Let's go back and see what the question was. Shoot. How far back was it, Edward? Damn, it was wild, wasn't it? Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. I was just kind of going off. My bad. Let's see. Let's find it. Don't worry. Oh, hey, did you sand that flat first? Yes. Hey, you know what? Edward's got...
We have a question.
There you go. So, hey, quick thing, guys. If you've got a question, write question in front of it in all caps so I kind of jumps out at me, right? Or else I won't freaking notice it. My bad. But yeah, so what I did was I took the knee, right, and I took a nasty kind of really high or low grit file, and I just went to town flattening that thing out, right. And then once I got that flattened, I flattened out the 4 sides of those angles, and then came back with just a sheet of sandpaper and then just smoothed out the sides because I wanted the sides to stay smooth, so you kind of get that that smooth, Xeon feel, the aesthetic, right? So that's what I did, and then plated over top of this because it got really thin with 1/2 millimeter sheets, and trimmed that up to be flush and completely blended in, and then laid everything on top of that. So that's how we did it. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Anyway, let's see. Dean's with us, you guys. He says, I just sliced myself pretty deep yesterday building real grade new. That sucks, Dean. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Super glue is an amazing band-aid, by the way. Try it. It works. Yeah. Ooh, look at Adam. Mr. USA Gundam Store. What's up, dude? He says, Dean, get those protective finger gloves. Right? Those little finger thingies that go on your fingers so you don't get yourself cut. Yeah. So, Ruslan, I love the carryover of detail. See, there's Bill. Hey, Bill, I wanted to show you. Look at that. I saw your comment on Instagram today, right? It looks good together, right? It looks good together. Yeah. I like it. And that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to, you know, I knew I was going to do kind of a knee spike thing. So, yeah. We just went ahead and did it. All right. Good deal. Ruslan says, great. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that, buddy. All right. So, with that being said, guys, let's mirror this up, right? Now, easy way to do this, easy way to get your measurements is just to put the two pieces together like this. Very carefully, I might add. And let's see if we can't get these things lined up properly, yeah? Just like that, okay? And then what we do is we mark where those lines are. Right there for that one. Right there for that one. Right? Easy. Easy stuff. So now, we need this, but over here. And we're going to put this guy right underneath of that pencil mark. Just like that. And we're going to make sure that this catch plate is caught right up against the edge, right? Let me catch up with the chat here because new messages. Boom, there we go. All right, so we're gonna get our friend 0.15, and we're gonna go to town on this thing. Right about there. All right, so I like to get the bottom one first. And since there's already a panel line that you're running into, this is pretty easy because that's going to act as a backstop to stop your chisel in its tracks. Now, don't go too crazy because you can run right over that existing panel lining right through and then have a really bad day, right? Then we're going to do the diagonal. Just like that. Then this guy up top here, and there we are. Simple. So simple. That's pretty much a mirror image right there, you guys. I don't know how much better I can get that. I mean, really. I don't know. So, what we're going to do, we've got this, we've got the initial carve in here, right? So before we get into that, get your eyes on. Get your eyes on. Hey, there's Julio. Julio number 1, as we have thus named him, because he was on Mechanism last Friday. And Julio says, sorry I'm late to the stream, was doing influencer stuff like influencers do. Because Julio's an influencer now, you guys. Good job, man. I like the hair, too. The hair, that is, yeah, I dig it. I dig it. So, Julio, Mr. Clip and Nubs, you are now forever known as Julio number 2. Sorry, man. Anyway, let's see here. Let's get these lines a little bit cleaner and deeper here. Just like that. And like I said earlier with with this little detail right here, I went full Ravipla. And yes, I am a fan of Ravipla because, dude, he makes things look so damn simple, right? He makes things look so simple. He's just like, oh, well, just let me do up some epoxy putty, and then let me just kind of sand that out to a perfectly square block. That's not easy. It's not easy, you guys. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Oh, man. But he makes it look easy on camera. I'm going to tell you that much right now. But yeah, he's a good one to follow. So if you're not following Ravi Plow on YouTube, man, I highly suggest it because he's good. He's good. So anyway, just kind of getting the crud out of the outer line here. All right, and there we go. Nicely carved, deep enough, looking good, looking good. Dean says Robbie Plow made a new vid today. Yes, I think was that the one I watched today? I don't know. I watched a few of them today, just because I had a little bit of time. It popped up on my recommendations on YouTube, and I was just like, oh yeah, let's take a look at it. Yeah. So Robbie Plow is good, and then who's the other guy on the other Japanese dude that I follow on the good old YouTubes? I forget. Take4.jp. I think his name. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to figure it out. He did the crazy looking Zaku, and he's working on his goof and everything right now. I know one of you are probably going to know who the hell he is, and you're probably going to put it in the chat, so thank you in advance. Yeah? So, there you go. Ruslam says, if you want fixed pose hands, I can probably trade you some. Oh, look at that. Who needs fixed pose hands? Yeah, I don't know. Ah, yeah, Ruslam, take 4. Boom, done. See? There he is. Take 4. Yeah, Chris Pabs. He knows it too. Hey, look, there's James, Mr. Nozaku boy. Hey, how you doing, James? I don't know why I just said that with a New York accent. It just seemed reasonable. But what's going on, James? Jesus. All right, back to work. Here we are. So, I'm going to start in the opposite direction on this one. Diagonal pulled out. And the horizontal. There we are. So there you guys can see the full package there. Let's get that. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Mirror finish. James is at work as usual. Ew. Sorry, James. I'm very sorry to hear that. But, hey, you're hanging out with us, so that's a cool thing. Yeah? Anyway. Let's see. Dean says, the Sharzaku you showed us a while ago. What? What? Zashan says, anyone know who is It's a Gumpla? Sorry, Z. I don't know that person. James says he loves my full package, you guys. You wouldn't be the first, James. We're just tidying up these little panel lines here, and then we're going to get those little horizontals in there that we showed you on the first one, and then we're going to finish this guy out. All right. So there's that. Yeah. Looking nice. Looking nice. All right. So now what we got to do is we've got to get these little horizontal lines right in here, right? Now those are 1 millimeter off of offset from that from the line above it, right? So what we do is we get our little scribing jig here, and all I did was I just grabbed another scribing jig that was 1 millimeter, and I just kind of shimmied it down to where that 1 millimeter strip is just underneath of that scribe line, right about there, right? And then just connect these 2 points together. It's pretty simple. Just like that. Simple, right? Simple. So now we're going to flip this bad boy over. We're going to do the same thing to the upper side there. And that looks to be about 1 millimeter. Let's check it with the... Yep, that's good. All right. Okay. And there. And there we go. Perfect mirror finish. Wah, wah. Whoop, whoop. Fun stuff. All right, so now, next thing, let's get a poll going. Let's get a poll going here, all right, you guys. Let's get an impromptu thing now. Do you want? What do you want to see next? Do you want to see the full-on, Ravi Pla dealy thing here? How I did that, or do you want to see? Do you want to see the vent? Let me know. Bring it. Tell me what you want to see, and we'll do it. First time that we've ever done this. Let's do it. Let's go. Waiting for you guys. Vent. 2 vents. Vent. People want to see the vent? Really? Okay. Vent. Everybody wants to see the vent. Okay. All right, guys. Vent. Vent. Everybody. Wow. Okay. The vent it is. The vents have it, you guys. By an overwhelming majority. Spider2K2 James says, Tim, we're venting here. All right, rock and roll. The vent it is. Let's take it out. Take a look at it. Yeah. All right. So let's take this bad boy off of the leg first, because that'll be step 1 to show you kind of the the inner workings of this thing. Yeah. And let's get that guy off of there, and then we need to pop the inner armor. Or inner frame or whatever. We need to pop this out here. This guy's a little stubborn. All right. Number 1, chisel discipline. Number 2, boom. All right. So, what I had to do to make everything fit here, right, is to file this inner frame down by a pretty good amount. So there's the before and there's the after, right? So that's what I had to do. I had to take this down to probably about, I don't know, at least 0.5 millimeter, maybe 0.75 millimeter, right? So that's what we had to do there. But we'll tackle that later. Yeah. So to get this thing to where we need it to be, we obviously had to make a cut. We had to cut into this armor, right? We had to back this up with 0.5 millimeter sheet, and that's all super glued in there and everything. That's all looking good, yeah? So, before we get to making the vent, we need to do the cutout. The cutout's very important. Cutout's very, very important. So, luckily, I still have the little cutout piece from the first one. Now, what that's going to do for us is that's going to give us a perfect template to cut out our next one, right? Now, the thing to remember though, is these are mirrored images of each other, right? So you can't just take this smooth section from here and place it onto here, because it'll be a different orientation. It'll be backwards, right? So what we do is we take it, we flip it over. Oh, now it's starting to click, right? So that's what we do. So we got to flip this thing over, and we got to get this thing lined up properly with this next piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our good old friend, Mr. Bob Smith Industries BSI super glue. We're going to take this guy off of here, and we're going to get him stabbed with the good old hobby knife. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to tack this onto this side. We're not going to glue this down, crazily or anything like that. We are just going to, just a little subtle, boop, boop, little drops. Just like that, right? Just 3 little drops of super glue. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. We're not laminating it on here. He says, James says, you're so smart, Tim. James, stop it. You know how to do this shit, but not a lot of people do. Fucking James, man. Killing me, son. You're killing me. Alright. So, what we'll do, try to line this up on the first shot here. Right about there. Let's see if we got that lined up properly. That's pretty good. We're going to have to do a little trimming because just in terms of sanding this down smooth, it shrunk down a little bit, yeah? James says, I was being serious, man. James, if you were, thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But if you weren't, fuck you. It's all good. All right, so hey, Franco.
We have a question.
He says, is the gray vent a Zaku part or a Kodo part? Dude, that's a Kodo part. That's a Kodo Kia vent. Let's see, where are they here? Digging in my bin o parts over here. Here we go. It's one of these guys. One of these. But actually, here. This is the actual one that we're going to be using. This guy right here. That one. That one. Captain Weirdbeard Gabe says Tim just assumed James was being an ass. Haha. I mean, can you blame me? Come on now, guys. Me and James have a great relationship. We fuck with each other. It's just the way things are. But no, James is the best, man. I couldn't hold ill will against James at all, ever. So, hey, Craig Flynn's over there on Facebook. He says, good day, Tim. Good day, Flynn. How are you, sir? Hopefully everything's good. Edward Lawrence says, Tim, is the part not symmetrical? It looks like it is, so I don't see the need to flip. No, it's slightly tapered in a different way. So there's a slight taper going this way, kind of on both sides. And it seems a bit more pronounced on this side from what I can kind of see visually. I haven't measured or anything, but from what I can just see with my eyes, it looks like it is. Better be safe than sorry, I always say. You know? Why not? So, yeah. Boom. Okay, let me check one thing here, right? James says I'd always assume I was being an ass too, so fair enough. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. All right. Julius Dembski says, I have a suggestion. Well, we don't have a button for that, Julius. I'm sorry, buddy. Tim, for the raffle for Simon, maybe you could offer a set of your Greebles. Man. It's actually a pretty damn good idea, Julius. I'm not going to lie. I'll think about it. I'll give it some serious thought. Let's put it that way. I will definitely give it a serious thought. Ruslam says, raffle? I'm so out of the loop. Yeah, dude, Bill, so, what's going on is that, Zishan, Z, Gumpler Ronan over there on Instagram, he was nice enough to, start up a, kind of a giveaway as a bonus for people that donated to Simon's GoFundMe, right? So, not necessarily, connected to, the GoFundMe, but just a kind of as a offshoot, if you will, right? Which a lot of people are doing, which is awesome. So Z offered up some kits, a couple of great gift cards. I know Adam from USA Gundam Store kind of matched the $100 gift card deal. And then people just kind of started raining down kits to give away to people as donations and stuff. And it was really amazing and very, very heartfelt and just fucking awesome. So that's kind of what is going on. A lot of people are getting in on it. Just kind of donating, donating kits as giveaways, just kind of to augment, and kind of as a thank you to those who donated, because there are some people that donated a lot of money. And yeah, man, it's just, call me sentimental, man, but it warms my heart, dude. It really, really does. And, I see it, and like last night watching, Jason, Ray's Power Ranger and SoCal Brina's, live stream last night, man, they were just having fun. They were just kicking it. Zashawn donated $50 so Jason would take his shirt off. And then I asked, hey, can I pay for you to keep it on? And they balked at that, so whatever. But man, it's just seeing things like that. They don't know Simon from nothing, but they did something for him, and that just really, I don't know, man. It's cool. It's really, really cool. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with the long story short, right? Long story short, that's what's going on with the raffles, Bill. So there you go. Wow, Hulu 1 says it's currently at 50, just cracked 5,800, you guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's just everybody from everywhere donating. Everybody from everywhere. Just from like $5 all the way to $500, you guys. Big shout out to Kieran Hahn. If you guys don't know him, he won Australia GBWC 2 years ago, I think. And yeah, dude donated $500. Yeah, $500. Big shout out to Kieran, man. Kieran and I we're not really familiar, we just, I don't know, we've never really communicated, I guess. He seems like a cool fucker. He seems like a really, really cool dude, right? But our paths just have never crossed, right? So I messaged him. I'm like, dude, hey, thank you very much. You're a good man for doing it, right? So, yeah, big shout out to Kieran Hahn. If you don't know him, what is it? Han Made, HAN, Han Made over there on Facebook. Go give him a like. It's worth it. He does some crazy work, man. He's a GBWC Australia champion. Go give him some love for it. Yeah. So, all right, let's get this thing cut. This glue is probably set up here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull out .20. This is kind of my designated cutting chisel, if you will, guys. I use this to make kind of precision cuts and stuff like that. I don't use .220 much anymore for panel lines or anything like that. I'll get it out occasionally, but it's pretty much regulated to cutting. So that's what we're going to be using here. So now what we got to do is we just got to follow the outline of this template that we have from the previous cut, right? So let's see. Basically, we're just outline scribing this thing, right? And we're outline scribing it all the way through, though. So we can't stop until we break through the plastic. That's the difference between doing something like this and doing kind of normal chisel work, right? So this will take a few minutes here because we got to be very careful with this, because one wrong move, we can ruin the whole piece, and then I'll be begging people for replacements, which is not fun, right? Not fun. Ruslam says, nice, if I wasn't deep into kits donating already and having my own contest starting soon, then I would donate too. Hey, man, record a video for him. Make him feel good, Bill. That's all you got to do. More than worth it, man. Or just drop Simon some love. Now, all the fundamentals that we've shown you over the time that we've been together this past year or so kind of goes out the window with something like this. Because you don't necessarily have to be neat. Because what we're doing is we're basically just cutting through this plastic, right? You don't really have to worry about being clean or being accurate or anything like that, because you can fix it after this thing is cut out. It just, yeah. So, you do want to worry about, you know, the ramping and kind of the junk in the corners and stuff like that, but ultimately, our main concern is just getting through the plastic, right? And it will, just like that, it's starting to get through, and you can kind of see on the back here. You see that little white mark going down here? That's where the plastic is starting to get stressed. That's where it's starting to fracture. That is a good sign. That means we're almost through there. And in fact, we just punched through. There you can see it in the highlight, that little line going down there. That's where we're cutting through that plastic. Yeah. So let's get the rest of it done here, because that's just the beginning. That's just half of like one side, right? Let's get the rest of this. So, all right. So while we're doing this, let's talk about something that I've been up to here recently. Now, working on this and other stuff, and while going to the gym and being on the elliptical and all that, that's all boring time, right? So, what I've been doing here recently is watching Mindhunters Season 2 on Netflix. If you've not watched Mindhunters, I highly suggest it because it's amazing! It's an amazing show. So, we'll talk about that here in a second. Bill...
We have a question.
He says, do you plan to save these panels for detailing somewhere else? You mean these little cutouts? Nah. They're useless. I really don't need them. Yeah. Edward Larnard says, it also looks like the bottom of that piece is not flat, so also a good reason to flip it. Yeah, a little bit. It's I don't know if it's necessarily super curvy, but, yeah. But we'll fine-tune it once it's cut out, and we'll fine-tune that, that cutout and everything before we place the vent and everything. So, Handren says, you work out at midnight. Either that or later, yeah. So after the stream, I go to the gym. Yeah, so it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock before I get there. Spending about an hour and a half, 2 hours doing my thing. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I like going late at night because nobody's there. I can get on any machine and any rack that I want. The free weights are empty. I just power through. I don't have to wait for anybody. Sucks waiting for people. Anyway, I digress. Back to Mindhunters. If you Franco358 says I built models for Mindhunters. Wait. Time out. Franco, tell us more. You can't just leave us with that one-liner and say, I built models for Mindhunters. Give us more. Come on. I need to know more. Seriously. Holy shit. Edward Leonard says, we already read that. Sorry, Edward. Julio says, really love Mindhunters. Yes. Hendren says, wow, rough. No, it's not. Dude, I'm a night owl anyway, so trust me, it is not rough. It is not rough whatsoever. Always have done that. And it's great, yeah. So Franco, come on, man, give us the deets. How did you build models for Mindhunters? Let us know. Come on, give it up. But anyway, while we're waiting for Franco to let us know that, if you've not seen Mindhunters or don't know what it is, it's basically a somewhat of a drama on Netflix. And it is about how the FBI started their profiling unit for like serial killers and stuff, right? It's a very kind of cerebral, kind of intense mystery type of show, right? Look at that. He says, I worked for New Deal Studios, 1/12 scale buildings. Wow. That's awesome, dude. Holy shit. That's really cool. I'm not going to lie. That's really, really cool. And then there's James. He says, love making scale buildings, right? Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Look at this. Like 6 degrees of separation. Like one of my favorite shows. And Franco worked on it. Did some work on it. That's awesome. He says, fun job. I bet. That's cool. That's really, really cool. So anyway, as we're doing this, because this is boring work, you watching me scribe this thing, cutting this panel out, we'll get to the fun stuff here in a bit. But Mindhunters, like I said, is about the FBI's kind of beginning stages of their profiling unit to profile serial killers. And basically what they do is these two, and I believe they're fictional characters. They go around to different serial killers that were imprisoned at the time, and they interview them, right? And they try to stop, other serial killers. They obviously try to, use what they've gleaned off of the interviews that they've had and stuff. And man, it's just a really, really good show. Season 1 was good, but man, I'm going to tell you what, Season 2 blew me away. Because it dealt with the Atlanta child murders and stuff like that, and a little bit about the BTK killer back in the day, and then they also got to interview Charles Manson. So that was a crazy scene to watch. Them interviewing, obviously a fictionalized Charles Manson, obviously not the real guy, but an actor playing him, But it was... Second season was really good, I'm not going to lie. Rusam says, so we expect to see fantastic dives from you, Franco, right? Exactly, man, exactly. But, you know what? The thing I think everyone has to realize, and I hope Franco would agree with me, because, I'm kind of... I'm not necessarily guessing, but I'm making an educated guess here. The world of production models, like for movies and stuff like that, where time is money, they don't go into necessarily the amount of quality of detail like we do, right? You look at, especially like Adam Savage. He worked in... he worked for ILM and all that, where they got to boom, 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 churn through these things because time is money. They got to be on budget, right? So they don't necessarily have to get things to the level of detail that we get them, right? Unless it's going to be on camera, then obviously, yeah. They're two different worlds. They're two different worlds where we take time and we slave over the details. They've got to speed through it and power on to the next one so they can, kind of keep the studio going. Oh, he says not so true. Okay, well, fair enough. Fuck me then. Forget what I just said. I don't know. Shit, that's just kind of what I gleaned from different people in the industry is all. So, Franco set the record straight, brother. I don't know. I'm talking my ass here. Zashan says, such a good show. The Manson interview was pure genius. He says, I had no idea the BTK wasn't caught till, like, late 2000s. Yeah. Crazy stuff, right? Let's see. Jay Lynch.
We have a question.
He says, what would be the best plow plate thickness to scratch build a weapon? I'm using 1mm and is been kind of troublesome to cut. Yeah. So, it depends on the weapon, Jay. It depends on the weapon, man. If you're making like a rifle, and obviously you need different, depths and stuff. Oh, yeah, Bill, absolutely. Close-ups obviously are going to be higher detail. That's a given. But, yeah, I just always perceived it as a time is money type of industry is all, right? So, anyway, back to what Jay's question was. So, obviously you're going to need different layers of thicknesses and depth and all of that. He says, yes, it's a rifle. So, probably what I would do is start maybe with like a 1mm core, and then build on top of that, right? 0.5mm, 1/4mm, whatever, 3/4mm, depends on, your next level, right? Build it out section by section, almost like what a 3D printer does, right? But, with plastic. That's what I did with the Ozzy's scratch-built rifle, or SMG, or whatever you want to call it. And I just built up the layers and just kind of situated those to where we needed it to be, right? But yeah, 1mm at that level is super thick. But like I said, I'd start with that as a core. It's a nice stable base, and then build out, from the middle on both sides. So, James says 0.5mm is my favorite plow size. There you go. Hey, and there's Freddy. What's going on, Freddy? Freddy was wrong. Freddy's got that horror plow thing going on with the tentacles and all. You guys know the deal, right? Alright, back to this. But yeah, so it's Mindhunter's very, very good. Well acted. Well written. I think the pace is spot on.
I think a lot of people will think it's a little slow, but I think for the subject matter, man, I think it's really good. Because they take it at such a pace to where, you know, it's so cerebral. You kind of have to your mind has to take a break a little bit, right? Freddie says tentacleman.info. There you go. Yeah, just it really great show. Really, really great show. So finished that over the weekend, and then I started watching Carnival Row on Amazon. And I've only got through 3/4 of the first episode, and so far I think it's really good. It's got some really good potential, so I'm hopeful for the rest of the season of Carnival Row. It's very kind of fantasy steampunk, which is kind of interesting, you know? I mean, because I think we've seen that take before in many different incarnations, especially like in kind of low budget shit movies. But yeah, so far it's interesting, at least from the most of the first episode that I've seen. And I literally just started it last night, and I only got through, like I said, about 3/4 of the first episode. But it's a lot of good foreshadowing. And the makeup seems really good. Subject matter seems timely as well. I won't lie, but yeah, I think it's pretty interesting so far. Pretty interesting. All right, so we've gotten all 3 of these sides scribed through, and then we've got these two, the bottom here, deep enough to where we can just basically just punch this thing through. Just be careful. And there we go. And we're through. Only took about 10 minutes, right? Well, answering questions and stuff. So, easy way to see if this is symmetrical and if this fits properly is to fit it kind of right over top of the existing one. And let's turn it over and check for height. And alright, so we're definitely going to need to kind of trim this up a little bit and really tidy up this this hole here that we cut. But that's to be expected. You know, you can't just kind of do this willy-nilly and expect to have it perfect on the first shot, right? Needs to be some fine-tuning. You know, and some of these sides aren't perfectly straight, so we're going to have to flatten these out as well. All right, so let's get a file going here. We're just going to bring this down, file these sides. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side here. Okay, and then the top side. Now, this filing process, what's going to happen is it's going to round over the corners a little bit, so we're going to have to come back with our knife and square those up a little bit, right? Ruslam says, okay, folks, have a great night. Bill, thank you for watching, buddy. Appreciate that. I believe Bill is at work, so good for him to stop by. All right, so that's looking a lot better than what it did before, and now we just have to square out these angled corners here. Oh yeah, that side's nice and smooth. Let's check this side here. It could be a little bit smoother. Let's square these sides up here. All right. So, yeah, that's much cleaner. Much cleaner. Much cleaner than what we had before, yeah? Much cleaner than what we had before. Dig it. Okay, so, I'll work on that later, but that gives you a good idea of how to cut through very accurately, right? I think you guys want to see how the vent's made. This guy right here, right? Okay, so, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this vent right here, this little plate from Kotobukiya. We're just going to clip this out. Right, like that. Okay. Set that stuff off to the side. And we're going to clean these nubs off here real quick. Boom. And boom. Okay, so now, important thing is to scuff up the sides and to square those up. And this is 400 grit on this sanding block here. So this is getting these sides nice and square and nice and scuffed up. That's important. All right. So that's ready to glue up. Now, one of the things that I really like to use when gluing something like this up is one of these boys right here, one of these 1, 2, 3 blocks, solid blocks, right? Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be gluing these down essentially, and we're going to be gluing the sides in, so that's going to squeeze out underneath, and that's going to essentially glue it onto this block. Since this is a nice smooth steel 1, 2, 3 block, we can just simply pop it off, and it'll be really nice and smooth, really nice and smooth. Let's see. Spider2K2 says, one thing I hate about Netflix series is that their seasons are like 6 to 8 episodes, i.e. Voltron. Some are. I know, what was it? Mindhunters was 10. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Prefer 8 episodes to 20. Yeah, don't we all? Who says they said they're going to start dropping episodes weekly. I don't like that. Just give me the whole thing at once so I can just burn right through it, right? Freddie says they tried that with Between. I dropped it so fast. Yeah. James says, okay, I'm out as well, Tim. Thanks. Have a good one, everybody. Cheers, James. Someone's Windows 10 is making sounds. Mine's not. I don't know. At least I didn't hear anything. Anyway. Tech says, but they're like 6 to 8 long episodes. Tech says, I'm fine with that. So there you go. You know, whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever floats your boat. All right. So let's refer back to this guy right here. Now, if I remember correctly, I used 0.5 millimeter on that. Let's double check, shall we? No, that is 3/4 millimeter. Big boy, 3/4 millimeter, yeah? So let me find a 3/4 millimeter deal here. I believe this is it. That looks like it. Yep. Cool. And this should be 1.5. And it is. All right. So the outer frame on this is 0.75 by 1.5, right? So we're going to cut pieces and we're going to basically just stack it around and make a frame. It's really simple. I'm going to show you guys how to do that here. All right. So with this, just line it up, leave some overhang on both sides, and cut like that. Now we're going to need 2 of these. Just line those up like that. This doesn't have to be perfect. So now you got your two sides, right? We're going to glue these on first. So what we got to do, and I'm going to need my eyes on this for this one. Donnie Baxter says they are trying to curb binge watching. I like to sit here and have something on the computer screen just going so I can listen to it and then look up and watch a little bit. Fuck them. That's what I say. Anyway. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to lay down some super glue on the side of this vent, right? Okay. We want to be a little generous with it. We're going to lay that guy right down there, and we're going to need to be a little quick with it. And we're going to pop this guy right here and just shimmy him over right up against that and then press. Okay? So this is your first side of your frame. Okay? Now, since we put on a pretty decent amount of super glue on that one side, that's going to squeeze out underneath, and that's going to lock this thing onto this block. This thing isn't moving anywhere, which is good because all we got to do is turn this sucker around and do the same thing. Now, we got to put glue on this here, right? So what we need to do is we need to pry this up a little bit. So we're going to use just kind of a flat-ended sanding block. And we just kind of push that off and boom, good to go. Now, this side, completely smooth, yeah? So we're going to do the same thing. Come on. All right, same thing there. Lay this thing down flat. Oh, come on, you. Drop your piece. Shimmy it over. Make sure it's flat against the block and also the piece, because that's important. And then just make sure you've got complete adhesion, right? Just like that. So there are your two sides, beginning of your frame, right? Again, we're going to push this guy off there, just like that. And now the two sides are completely intact, glued on. We're going to come back. We're going to trim this up a little bit. Let's see. Manny's back. He says, what did I miss? Freddie says there was a fire. And he says, I think there was a murder. And a firefight, text says. He says, you need breaks from Breaking Bad's later seasons. Do you really? I don't think you do. I churned through Breaking Bad like it was nothing. Come on now. You don't need a break from that. Nah. Julio number 2 says, word up, I'm like season 4 and I've had enough. Really? Of Breaking Bad? Come on, man. Disappointing me. Armida Tech says, you are spoiled in that you get to binge Breaking Bad. The rest of us had to wait week after week. Hell, I started getting desperate and went for East Coast fees. Yeah, I did the same thing. I binged it. I just powered it right through, right? So, what are you going to do? Whoop, whoop. All right, so the glue is set up on this guy. We are going to get the ends trimmed off here just like that. We're going to get that low-hanging fruit like we always talk about. And there we go. So now what we've got to do is we've got to really kind of get this thing just nice and flush, right? Chris R, look at that. He's back. He's over there on Facebook. Chris, what are you doing on Facebook, dude? He says, going back to work. I'll rewatch later. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, Chris. So what we do, get the 1, 2, 3 block out of the way. Let's get our sanding block in here. And we're going to sand these frame pieces right flush with the vent itself. Now, you want to be careful. You don't want to take off too much, and you want to try to keep it as square as possible. So check that, and that looks good. We're going to stop there. Do the next side here. And that's nice and flush, perfectly square. Sweet. All right, so now we've got our two finished sides. Now we have to make our tops and bottoms, right? So we're going to bring back in the plastic strip that we were working with before. Whoop, try not to lose that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have a little bit of overhang on each side. We're going to trim this down just like that. Good. Make another duplicate piece. Boom. All right. So now we've got our tops and our bottom. And so now we do the same exact thing, right? Real simple stuff. But we're going to get a little glue on the two frame pieces here too. Okay, there's that. Drop our top piece on here. And now everything should be nice and square, vertically the same, right? And once we go to trim this and everything, this will be perfect. Just a perfectly square and nice, or as Gary says, nice. There we are. Get that shimmied off of there, and again, we're looking really good. Let's trim up the bulk of that right now so we don't have any accidents. All right, so last side here. We're going to glue this up. Okay, that right there, and our last side, pop that on, get that shimmied up there. Ooh, it's not sticking to the block there. Now it's good, just like that. And there is the beginning of your frame, right? That's what we want. And we push that off there, free it up, and now clean off the excess. There's that. All right, so now we trim this up with our knife, completely flush. The beauty thing about using super glue is that, and you guys have heard me say this before, it acts as a filler. So any gaps that we have in the frame pieces, it will fill in just perfectly. Good. Good there. And good there. All right, so now we've got our frame pretty much flushed out here, yeah? Or fleshed out, I don't know. So we're just going to trim back a little bit of this super glue, squeeze out, and now we're just going to tidy up the sides of the frame here. Get everything nice and flush. Perfect. All right, so that right there is a perfect frame for this. Yeah, perfect frame. Now, one of the things we have to do is we have to even up the bottom. So we're going to get our little metal file plate here, and we're just going to tidy up the bottom here. We're just going to get that nice and flat. It doesn't take too long. Flip this over. Alright, so now this piece right here is completely flat on this side. 100%. Like, smooth as a baby's butt. So we're in good shape there. So now, all that's really left is to do an outline scribe inside and then bevel the 4 sides. So let's really quick handle that. Now, first thing that I like to do is get the sanding block here and hit the sides with this first, right? Because that will knock down the corner really, really well to set up the final passes for the bevel. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. Let's take a look at it real close and see where we are. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so one thing that I forgot to do is sand the top of the frame. Little, very, very slight height differences. So we just want to even those out. And that's all it took. Nice. Okay, so now what we can do is we can take our little ceramic scraper here, right? And just kind of really delicately go to town on the sides here and get these nice and even all the way across, because that's what we want. You want to go in opposite directions every once in a while to keep the bevel nice and even, because you're going to apply pressure at different areas along the side if you just keep it in one direction, right? So if you alternate your scraping, that will help you keep it more symmetrical, I guess, or more even. Yeah, words. So this is looking really good so far. Let's get this tops and bottoms here. And now I'm just eyeballing the angle. I don't need to be perfect with this angle because this is a piece that not everybody is really going to even see, much less try to see if the angles are even and measured and all that crap. So just eyeball it. It's fine. You want attention to details, but god damn it, you don't want to obsess over this shit. It's not worth it, right? So now I'm just coming back and just kind of finish sanding the different sides here just to get rid of any scrape marks or any weirdness. Just even those up nice. Okay. Alright, it's even on both sides. You want to check symmetry of the bevels, you know, to both sides of the frame, right? So, that, my friends, is pretty much the finished frame, right? Now, the one thing that we have to do is do an inside perimeter scribe around this, which I just like to do because it'll catch the panel lining fluid when it's done, right? And it'll create this just super subtle, nice shadow in there. So this is one of the rare times that I'm using the .20. One of the rare times. Yeah, Josh, VFX10 Viper says, they won't see it, but you'll know. Yeah, I mean, that's half of scale modeling, dude. They won't see it, but I'll sure as shit know about it. Okay. And like I said, we just want to go around the inside perimeter of this thing just to get a nice little shadow. God, it sounded like Bob Vila right there. You just want a nice little shadow. That's all. Or Bob Ross. What am I saying? Bob Vila. Jeez. Happy little scribe lines. Freddie, you still on? Is Freddie here? Freddie, sound off if you've got a pair. Freddie. Freddie. Freddie, reply. Damn it. If you're here, tell him the name of my panel for SEGMC. Or my class or my demo or whatever the hell you're calling it. I think Freddie came up with this name, and I think it's a good name. Freddie, there we go. Pair of balls? Tell him the name of my panel, Freddie. It's pretty good. I gotta give Fred. I actually have to give Freddie credit. It's pretty good. Scribing them panels. There you go. Freddie, just for that, I won't put a bag over your head at SEGMC. Good job on the name. Well done. All right. Now, when you're doing this inside perimeter scribe, it's really important that you kind of clean up the inside here because you're going to have super glue squeeze out, and that's going to screw up the cleanliness of your line. Because you want your perimeter scribe to be nice and square, right? But if that super glue is getting in the way, getting in the path of your chisel, it's going to bump it out, and it's going to make it look like a big old blob kind of line. That's not what you want. Not what you want. You want nice clean lines. As with everything, clean lines are good lines. All right. I think that does it, you guys. I think we did it. Armida says, well, why the hell am I even going? Nobody said that you couldn't put the bag over his head, Armida. Come on now. I mean, I can hold him down if you want me to. Just as long as I don't put the bag... I'm just not physically going to put the bag over his head. So, anyway. All right, hey, let's go to Super Zoom, and let's take a look a little bit closer at this this vent here, since you guys wanted to see this so bad. Let's see. There it is. There it is. I don't know. Not very... there's Mikkel. Whoop, whoop. Not exactly that impressive close up, but when we tilt this thing up here, you can kind of see the bevel on it and all that. Bevel's good. This side, let's catch the light on here. Super smooth. You can see right there in all the highlights and everything. Just really nice and smooth. If we look at this side, you can see the evenness, symmetry of that bevel. And there you go. You've got a nice little frame for your vent, right? Nice little frame. Where's the... Here it is. Here's its friend. Very similar. Very similar.
Let's see here. Armida says you drive a hard bargain, like I always do. Freddie says Tex is jealous you got closer to killing me than she ever has. Yeah. What are you going to do, right? Mikkel says, hey, Tim, what's that metal piece you're using? Oh, dude, Mikkel. All right, here, let me show you. Let me show you. Whoop, whoop. Let's see. This, dude, this is it's called a 1-2-3 block. It's a machinist block, right? So 3 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch thick. That's why it's called a 1-2-3 block, right? I use this for gluing, keeping things even, all that stuff. Yeah. So it's a good little thing to have, dude. I highly suggest that that you get a pair, because they come in pairs, right? Not like Freddy, where he only has one. Yeah, get a set. Machinist friend, Edward says. Damn right. Sorvan says, whew, my hands are free of the gloves. Spent so much time weathering that my fingers pruned. Ew, yeah. Hey, I'll get all sweaty and everything. Tex says, bullshit Sabs nearly killed you for me. Nice. Armina, whoop whoop. Yeah, there you go. VFX10 Viper Josh says, smooth. Thank you, man. Wow, Edward, I'm not going to read that one. Donnie says, damn fine work, Mr. Mecha. Dude, don't call me Mr. Mecha. It's my dad. Yeah. Hendren says, great stuff, man. Spider 2K2, ouch. Yeah. So there we go. I have a metal piece to glue stuff on top of. Spider 2K2, shots fired, right? So yeah, that's all. Well, and Mikkel, and that's what I do here, because we glued up the vent, this vent that we were working on, right? We put some super glue, and this all kind of super glued down. Now, to clean this up, real simple, right? Take our little chisel blade here, and just look at it. Just the shit just scrapes right off. Real easy to clean. And perfectly smooth once more. Done. Easy. Look at that. There's like hardly any residue on there. And the stuff that is on there, that's just, there's no texture at all. Done. None. Really good stuff. So, let's see. Hey, Gamer Bud. Bud is on with us. He says, oh, crap baskets. I lost track of time and forgot about the stream. I'm here. He's here. Hey, Hendren.
We have a question.
He says, Tim, do you ever get hand cramps while working on those little parts? Not really. But you have to keep in mind that I have long, spindly fingers. So, I'm not like, arthritis up like that. Where if you were to have like short, stubby fingers that, I don't know. My mom always said I could probably play the piano really well, but I never got into that shit. Anyway, so no, to answer your question, I really don't get, cramps in my hands or anything like that. So, yeah. But good question, right? Donnie says, you don't need a 1-2-3 block until you have one, then... Oh, I lost it. And then you need it forever. You're damn right, Donnie. You goddamn right, son. The 1-2-3 blocks are great, man. Great. Look at that. Mikkel says, I'm going to order one now. This guy, man. Brandon5269 says, Tim, can't thank you enough for all you've taught me. I'm currently completely scratch building a backpack / belt fed drum for my high grade Jester build. See? That's what we're talking about, Brandon. That's what we're talking about, dude. Hendren says, I usually do get cramps in his hands. I guess I'm getting old. Maybe. Not as old as me. VFX10 Viper says, wow, I want one of those now. What, everybody? Everybody wants a 1-2-3 block, eh? It's just, seriously, guys, all this is, it's a machinist tool, right? You can get them on Amazon. They're in the Amazon link, so just
click away. It's just a block of steel, right? And they come in twos. And if you have like the little neodymium magnets, right? You can say if you want to scribe something, right? Check this out. The little magnets you put right there, this thing isn't going anywhere, right? So now you have a nice template to work off of. Really good. Really good. Freddie says my blocks have a hole in them. Yes, they come in different flavors. They come with bored out holes. I have a set of those as well. They look like this, right? And these are machinist tools, right? Because these are threaded. You can put bolts in here and bolt these two things and use these as measurements and flat parts and all whatever machinists do. I don't even know. I'm not a machinist. All I know is that these are basically wonderful. These are essentially like an anvil for, a blacksmith or something like that. It's a great tool to have. And they're not that expensive. I think these are like $15 or something like that. Maybe 20. I don't know. Excuse me. But, yeah, these are great things to have. Great things to have. Brandon says, would have never thought to even try this 6 months ago. Okay. So we switch back to camera 1. Yes, because this is the thing I was talking about earlier, you guys. This is the thing, right? Brandon's been watching for a while, and now he's doing shit that he wouldn't even have thought of 6 months ago. That's how far we have come, right? I look at a lot of people stepping up their game. A lot of people. And that makes me super proud. Like, that's why I do this. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Yeah. Love it. I love it. Mikkel says, hella easier than what I have. Julio says, whoo, good stuff, Brandon. Right? I agree with Julio. Let's see. VFX10 Viper says, wow, I want one of those now. Oh, we read that already. Sorry. Yeah, Josh, we just repeated you. Spider2K2, James says, anyway, I'm off to bed. I made a post on IG asking help from the Mecha Army if anyone can help out. Please don't hesitate. Night, Tim. Night, dude. Thank you for watching. Zashawn, Donnie, get me a 1, 2, 3 block. And then Chris Pab says, Z, get me a 1, 2, 3 block, right? They're asking each other for 1, 2, 3 blocks, I guess, yeah. Julio says phalanges. Manny McDowell says he has small hands like Carney folks. That's fucked up. So Sean over there on Facebook, he says, I didn't know I needed it, but now it seems like I'm incomplete without it. I mean, yeah. They're really useful. I'm not going to lie. They're really, really useful. And connecting to, you have this perfect right... Oh, you guys can't even see it because we're camera 1. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, so if you use the magnets, right? So we're going to take these off here. And you can do a lot with these blocks and these little magnets and stuff, right? So block up on its end, magnets in the 4 corners, right? And these are just little 1/4 inch N52 neodymiums, right? Boom. Now, look at that. They are solid to where they hold that whole block in place with zero help. And now you have a perfect, look at that. You have a perfect 90-degree angle right here, right? Now, the camera is like angled in such a way where it's weird, but yeah, perfect 90-degree angle, right? That's good shit. And like I made this this gluing jig, right? And all I did was to set it up right up against here and then put some magnets down here on this, and it held it perfectly in place, and then I could glue the pieces at a perfect angle. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 blocks, man. Simple stuff, but they're amazing. Sasan says, damn it, Chris. Chris says, LOL. There's a lot of LOLs, I guess.
Let's see. Freddie says, yeah, his blocks have holes in them. We already talked about that. Mikkel says, my man in his R&D. Yeah, well, hey, what are you going to do, right? You got to become a student of the hobby, man. Continue to learn. Continue to break out of that box. Bust through. The box is your enemy. Just tear it apart. Get out of that thing. Right? Henry says, we are close to the same age, Tim. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. Actually, I think you're younger than me, right, Hendren? If I'm not mistaken. Zashawn says, LOL, they come in too. Guess you're getting one, Chris. Nice. Edward says, toolmaker for 30 years. Nice, dude. See? And that's what I love. If you don't have... And I say this. If you need it, just make it. Make your own tools. It's easy. You know, like the scribing jigs and stuff. Nobody makes those. Nobody makes those. I make them myself. Easy. They're easy to build, easy to create, and they just increase your accuracy and all that. Yeah. Vincent Lewis is with us. He's over there on YouTube. Vince, what's going on, dude? Salute to Vince, man. He says, hey, Tim, what paints do you use your leveling thinner with? Good. Okay.
We have a question.
Good question. Good question, Vince. I use primarily Mr. Color, obviously. But then you also can use Tamiya with Mr. Leveling Thinner, which makes a great combination, by the way. Because what'll happen is the Mr. Leveling Thinner will kind of imbue some of the characteristics of Mr. Color into the Tamiya, right? So what will happen is you'll get a much smoother paint job. It'll cure a lot quicker, and the durability will be much higher. Now, not as good as Mr. Color, but really, really close. Really close. If you look at the Blue Destiny that I made a while back, and also the Gundam version Logic, both of those are painted with Tamiya and Mr. Leveling Thinner, right? All the white and the yellow on the Gundam version Logic, that's all Tamiya paint. The blue color on the Blue Destiny, that's all that's all Tamiya, and then the grays on the Blue Destiny over top of that blue are Mr. Color. Zero problems. They go together perfectly. So, not only do you get the entire color range of Mr. Color, it opens up the entire range of Tamiya as well, which is just, man, it's great. It's great. So, yes, Mr. Color and Tamiya both are awesome paints. Aside from that, I also recommend SMS if you want to get that. And they also haven't tried splash paints, but I know a lot of people use those. I know Donnie uses those, and they seem to be really good too. So, and those Splash Paint is an American-based company as well, but also SMS. Shout out to Scotty. That's his kind of homegrown company, and man, really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah. But good question. Good question, Vince. Edward, never saw the solid ones. Oh, the solid 1, 2, 3 blocks? Yeah, dude. Yeah. And here, on one camera, you can kind of get a better perspective or better scale of how big these things are. These are hefty, right? These are big freaking blocks of steel. So they're great, though. They are great. Now, this is the thing. When you guys order these blocks, these come with oil all over them. And they're going to be nasty and greasy and disgusting. Keep that in mind. That's a good thing. Because if they didn't have the oil on them, chances are these would rust in transit and you'd have just a block of rusty steel, and that's not a good thing for anybody. So clean the rust or clean the oil off of there with like lacquer thinner or isopropyl alcohol, something like that, or a degreaser or something like that, and then they're going to be clean as a baby's butt and you're going to be good to go. So they will come, all of them come oiled like that, and they're nasty to start out with, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Mikkel says 2062 with tax from Amazon for these blocks. Yeah, that's a good price. Good price. Donnie says, Z, you need a 123 block. DM me, Addy, and I'll send it. Aw, look at that. That's so nice of Donnie, right? So nice of him. Edward, oh, wait a minute. Superset 5's over there on Twitch, you guys. He says, these resin parts for my Sinanju Stein have insane levels of detail. It's crazy. Really enjoying the build so far. Awesome, dude. Those dress-up kits are nice. Not gonna lie. Edward Leonard over there on YouTube just started doing models about a year ago. See? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Brandon 5269. For everyone buying tools tonight, please consider holding off for another week or two and donating that money instead to Simon's GoFundMe. You know what? That's a good idea. Don't buy shit tonight. Send it to Simon. Wait till next paycheck. You greedy bastards. Nah, dude, that is the right sentiment. I gotta agree. Hands down. That's a good call, Brandon. Very good call, dude. Chris Pabs, I'll check it out, James. Handren says, you certainly motivate the hell out of builders, especially the newcomers. Great job, brother. Man, you know, somebody's got to. If not me, who? And if not now, when? And it's just something I like. I like that. I like seeing people realize their potential, right? It's always been kind of a natural thing for me. Any way I can help someone achieve their potential, I'm there. It feels good. And if you haven't done that, do it once, and then you'll be hooked. It's like a drug. But it's the best drug in the world, I'm going to tell you that much right now. You get addicted. Straight up. Chris Pab says, might be helpful for those heat sinks I hate making. Yeah, dude, yeah. Because it keeps all the fins in place and flat and everything. Yeah. Trust me, it is. This is Sean says, thanks, brother. I was kidding. I'll get one from... Jesus, these guys, man. So Sean and Chris Pabs and Donnie, they're all funny dudes, man. For real. Julius Dempsey, night all. Hey, good night, Sarge. Appreciate you watching. Let's see. Edward Leonard over there says, use them for service grinding all the time. Yeah, dude, they're great. Zero Kai, he's over there on YouTube. What's going on, dude? He says, hey, Tim, I have a question. How do I make... Oh, wait.
We have a question.
Can't forget that. It's a must. He says, let's see. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? There it is. How do I make that tool that people use for beveling? I think I know what you're talking about. So, easy. Super easy, right? So, what you do... Camera 2 first. What you do is get a nice flat piece. Make sure this side is flat as well, and then basically just sand this over, round this over, right? But keep it straight. That's important, right? And then what you want to do is you want to get a scrap blade, like an old blade or a new blade or whatever. Measure out your angle first on the piece, right? And then glue the blade down to super glue the blade down to the piece at that angle, right? And then that's a quick makeshift way of getting a clean clean bevel, right? Really simple. Just, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, dude. Anyway, back to camera 1. Let's see. Space Rat 53 is over there on YouTube. He says, I need to look into what I can do with the workshop machines from the classes I'm taking. Right now, I'm working on milling and lathing a brass. What? Dude, I'm so jealous of you. I would kill for a lathe and a mill and all that shit. That's awesome. Dude, you can make metal parts. You can make, like, super detailed, like, little gun barrels and stuff like that. Yeah, thruster bells. Come on, man. Sky's the limit. But you need the small enough bits and stuff like that. So, yeah, jealous. Vincent Lewis, he's over there. He says, nothing much, bro. I asked him what's going on. Chris Pabs, if you guys have seen my whips, that green is Tamiya with Mr. Leveling Thinner. See, there you go. Donnie Baxter says, imbue, word of the day. I got good words, Donnie. What do you want? Armida Tech says, can vouch. Leveling Thinner with Tamiya opened up a whole new world. Yeah, that just happened. Vince says, nice, thanks, bro. Dude, you're welcome, man. Donnie Baxter, but baby butt is perpetually dirty. Depends. Really does depend on the parent, I guess, right? Anyway, Edward Leonard says, I did tool and die, molds and programmed CNC and wire EDM machines and also general machinist stuff. What? Come on now. Edward's serious about that. Good stuff, dude. So Sean says, great idea. Handren gives a thumbs up. Edward says, I had a whole machine shop in my garage. Talk about lucky. Come on now. I want a machine shop in my garage, you guys. Manny says, I need to learn a lot with magnets and levitation. Levitation? I don't know about that stuff, dude. You're playing with the devil on that one. Magnets are one thing. Levitation, you could just one wrong balance. You're SOL. SOL. Armida did not like my my singing, it seems. She gave us a little smile, a little face on there, right? She's probably crinkling her nose right now. Julio says, miniature lathe? Yeah, dude, I'd love a miniature lathe. Those things are awesome. But, you know what? You can... Here, one of these. This is my miniature lathe, right? That... There we go. Take this thing out, right? Pop your tube or whatever in there. Crank that sucker down. Boom. That's your miniature lathe. It works. I'm telling you. It works. Space Rat 53, starting to work CNC machines, but not getting into programming them this semester. Dude, still, that's a step in the right direction. Step in the right direction. It all takes time. You gotta learn it, right? Gotta learn it. Julio says, make a lathe, Tim. Dude. I already made one. Anyway. Armida says no comment. Par for the course, right? Franco says drill works great. It does. I agree. Julio says, can you control the RPM on that? Yes. Yes, you can. So it works really good, actually. So I've used that plenty of times to kind of lathe down, you know, bits of plastic and stuff. But the main thing that you want to be careful on with a drill is not to crank that down on the tube or rod or whatever too tightly. You want to make sure that it just grips onto it and doesn't crush it. I've had that done plenty of times. It's not a good thing. Bry Guy, what's going on, Brian? He says, hey, Tim, quick question. Oh.
We have a question.
What's a good tool to get good circular shapes on styrene? One of these guys? Or even better, if I can find it, here it is. One of these guys. This is plastic, and this comes in, obviously, imperial sizes, right? You can find this at pretty much any craft store in their drafting section or whatever. These are good to start out with, but if you really want to get splurgy, this is a really, really good circular template. This is steel and basically photo etch. It's a little thicker than photo etch. This is by U-Star, the Chinese company. I got this on Taobao, and these are all metric sizes in here too. So it's semi-flexible, so you can kind of get a nice good kind of round over on it if that's something that you need. But if you just need flat, this is perfect. So yeah, this little guy has come in very, very handy over the course of time, the short course of time that I've had it. I've only had this for a few months, and it's definitely paid itself in full, in terms of worth and everything. So yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Let's see. Vince says, that's great to know. There we go. Nice. He says, I was trying to figure out a solution to that with my Virtue the other day. Nice. See, there we go. Hey, Gary's over there on Twitch. He says, just showing some lovey-dovey here on Twitch. Nice. We were just talking about you, Gary. I quoted you earlier. I said noise. Like Gary does. So there we go. Anyway. All right, kids. 12:15 is the time. I know it's getting late, and I don't want this to end either, but the gym is calling my name. I gotta go. Anyway, Zashan says maybe Olfa Circle Cutter would work too. Yeah. I like the stencils. They create a better, cleaner circle. That's why I suggest it. Manny says, hey, Brian, get a hole saw that attaches to a drill. Bam, but you're talking about big holes, though, dude. That's kind of overkill. Brad Guy says, yeah, all stencils I see are only in centimeter, so I hope it helps. Yeah, so there you go. Great. Edward Leonard says, I had a part that could not be made, and I used a hand drill and a surface grinder to make it. Nobody could make it within the tolerances allowed, so it is not a joke. Word. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway. All right, kiddos. We're going to be back here on Wednesday, right? We're going to continue working on this thing. We're going to probably place the vent in the hole. I've got to clean that out before and get that nice and symmetrical. Get that ready to go for you guys on Wednesday. But we're going to come back here. We're going to glue up the back end of that, get the vents set in place, and continue on with this thing. It's getting close, you guys. It's getting really, really close, and I can feel the finish line. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then once this thing is done, then it's on to the Hunter. Whew, can't wait for that one. That one's going to be fun. I'm not going to lie. That one's going to be fun. All right. And then also, let's see. What's today? The 10th? Yeah. Hopefully next week we'll have another big announcement too. Mystery, right? So just real quick. Julio says, thanks for the stream. Have a good night. Space Rafty 3, I got in partway through your airdrop build and have been taking notes. This MG Zaku F2 and Master Grade Ground GM diorama build I'm working on is my first attempt at putting it into practice. There we go. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And Edward says hand drill equals good. Yes, sir. Yes, it does. I totally agree with you. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful night. Just real quick. Hold on. Time out. Just stay with me. Stay with me here. Don't go. No. Come back. Don't go. We need to do business. If you want a shirt like this, one of these awesome little chibi airdrop shirts, go hit up www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You'll find shirts and bags and all kinds of other good stuff. If you're interested in some of the stuff that we worked with here tonight, the tools and 1, 2, 3 blocks and all that, there's an Amazon link just below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I get a little bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it doesn't increase the price for you. It helps with the stream. If you need shirts or if you need models or paints or accessories or tools or whatever, or the awesome Mecha Decals, hit up our good friends right here, USA Gundam Store, Adam and the crew down there. We'll definitely help you out and have everything that you need. I think that I did that in record time. Anyway, guys, have an awesome Tuesday. We're going to see you back here on Wednesday. We're going to continue kicking this thing's ass. Man, we're having fun with this, right? Mecha Army. Hey, don't forget Simon. If you haven't donated, man, go donate to that thing. It's for a good cause. Help out Simon. All right? Anyway, guys, have a wonderful Tuesday. Be safe out there. Go build something cool. Bye.